the Dumfries Museum in Camera Obscura up the hill. Does that mean that we go up these stairs?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, we will go up the stairs. It looks like it takes us to council housing rather than around here, but okay. We will go up and we will have a look. Nothing else, it gives us a nice high view of the water, and we get up to the Budleigh. Budleigh has the best smell, at least I think so. God, I love that. It's very honey-like. You should smell these plants because it is my favourite.
I have them.
They attract butterflies and bees.
Yeah.
Smells lovely. So we're going up and through these buildings. Look at all this Budleigh. Oh my goodness. You see the bridges from here? Coming a bit closer. These look really old. So I think these are going to have been stones that are repurposed from a much older building.
Yep. And
put into the walls. MCIP 1700. I mean, this wall is not 1700 wall, but that lintel may very well be. This seems like a strange way to go. I think we were to go around and up the hill rather than through the housing estate and up the hill. But it's fine. Again, it gives us a nice view over the town. And we'll go up here where we can see the saltire and the line rampant flying. Someone's got a saltire and line rampant flying from their windows. It's always nice to see. We've got Dervergiller Terrace. Okay, and we're going this way. Come round a bit. So, let's see. Something Laura Burnett. Just Laura Burnett. It could be some kind of laird. We've got a saltire flying up here. We've got coats of arms and all kinds of stuff going on here. This I thought looked like a skull, but it's got like a cat ear.
Another wee one there.
It may be wee gargoyles and Habshar. Pretty sure that says Habshar. It might be easier to see on the camera. And we've got a couple of shields, a couple of heraldic numbers. We've got a winged Pegasus, maybe. Could even be a winged lion. It could be a chimera. So a lion with wings and a serpent for a tail, perhaps. And another coat of arms that a lot of the details been lost. Here's this cherub. How good is that? That's actually survived quite well. No, this wall has just been made up of bits of other buildings, I think. What does that say? Yeah. Talk not of something. There is, oh my goodness, I don't know. Hands something kind given. I'm not sure. Again, it's maybe easier to read on the camera, and this is 1611 on that stone. I have to believe that a lot of that was taken from older buildings. Even here you've got kind of stones with kind of work on them. It's kind of hard to see. This is where we're going to. So this is an old windmill with the paddles having been taken off. Yeah, the vegetables in the garden are a reflection of the stars in the sky. Okay, help yourself when the crops are ripe and ready. Come and garden with us, learn about growing food. All welcome from beginners to experts. Help out behind the scenes. That is really good. I'm a fan of that. Okay. Oh, I get to go under an arch to go through here. Looking for more reconstituted stones. We have a cannon. I love a good cannon. Just getting the end off that thing to... Oh, would you? I guess you wouldn't need to. You would have the line going in there to light, I guess. 1883, I think that says. I think this is decoration in 1883, or I don't know. Really hard to read. Again, it might be easier to see post-edit. Strawberries. Looks like there'd be strawberries growing in here. Apparently you can just pick them when they're ready, which is just such a nice wee community idea. And I always get people kind of helping in the growing of fruits and veg. They're a really nice location. Got a fountain that's blowing all over the place by the wind at the moment. Let's see what's in this glass. Oh, what is this? I wonder what this would do. I don't know what this is. Obviously you might be able to unlatch this clasp, but I'm not seeing how that, I mean, unless it's been welded since, so that this can be rotated, and rotate this bit. To what purpose? I don't know. There are no signs to suggest. We also have a rather happy chappie here, hidden in amongst the foliage. Oh, we have someone else. Kind of Grecian lady with a crown made of bricks by the look of it. That'll be a lintel from an older edifice. We have this man, it's Tam, just chilling, biding by his horse. Let's see what it says. So it says, in the memory of John Sinclair, MD, so he's a doctor, assistant surgeon, RN, born at Dumfries, 6th April, and that's 1814, MD, CCC, XIV, 1814, died at Titchfield, Hampshire, 26th of October, 1840, so he was young, okay. That's MD CCC XL. The sculptures here deposited were conceived and executed by our native artist, Mr. John Curry, disposed of by lottery on the 25th of October 1840, and the prize drawn in name of Dr. John Sinclair, a youth beloved by all, of high promise and superior talents. By a mournful accident he died the following day, and the figures of old mortality and his pony were presented to the Dumfries and Maxwelltown Observatory in fulfilment of his intentions. They are here finally placed, a memorial to departed worth, a present to the public, and a token of attachment to the place of his birth. So, our young doctor did not live very long at all. Obviously long enough to get himself a bit of note in the city. Look at all these bits of old buildings, 1889, 18, and that's lost the other side of it. Soup kitchen. What does this say? Oh my goodness. Executed 1667, Rev 12 something. Under this stone, I'm not here at seeing that, doth lie dust sacrificed to Tyron something, yet precious in immense, something that's cut off at the side, so we're not getting the full words. Sight, since martyred for his kingly right, here he condemns something. It could be something to do with the Covenanters then. That looks like a baptismal font, which has come from the inside of a church somewhere. Trying to find something that has. Right, and we can read here. We've got Dumfries Corporation Gasworks, 1832. David Brodie Esquire Provost, John Lockerbie Esquire Gas Convener, James H. Hill Esquire Sub-Convener, Sam Dickey Engineer and Manager, and Robert Dempster and Sons Limited Contractors, England, Yorkshire. Okay. So England's not so far from here. We are right down towards the border. A replica of this bust of Richard Alexander Oswald Esquire of Auchencruive is placed in the mansion house of Auchencruive by the tenants of the estate to remain there in lasting testimony of their esteem of him as a man and their gratitude to him as a landlord. He was born the 17th of February 1821 and died the 19th of June 1841. These people are dying early. And we have a little spider with a wee pearl. That's someone's clasp. We'll bring it in. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. Okay, we do not get in this way. We can get in round this way. Okay. Oh. Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. This was outside and I don't know if it was supposed to be outside.
Right, it doesn't look like it's supposed to be outside.
No.
It's
Beautiful wee brooch.
yeah, it's a nice little one. I'm terribly
was on top of-
arachnophobic, so I'm just going to put it on a piece of paper.
It was
There we
on
go.
top of a plinth for a bust that's no longer there.
Yeah, so somebody's obviously kind of like left it, and then somebody's found it. And
Yeah.
then gone, well, this is something that should have been found.
Very pretty. I didn't know
no
if it was
idea.
meant to be there or not, but
It's not that it's not anything to do with us.
okay.
It's not how we normally
Okay.
do things. But yes. Hello, welcome to the museum.
Hi. How are you?
Thank you for picking up all of the stuff that people have been lying around.
Okay. That's alright.
But yes, are you here for a look round?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes, we're here for a spot of history. We're just at the oldest house.
Yes,
down on,
Aldridge House.
and we were pointed in this direction.
They're very good at pointing people up the hill. I'm sorry for the hill, but other than that,
it was a nice
don't
walk.
mind.
Like, it gives a nice view over
Most
the
recently in Stirling and Edinburgh,
river.
so your hills are fine. Don't
Oh,
worry
grand.
about
I was
it.
about to say it gives a nice view over the Clyde, and I'm like, no, we're in a very different part of Scotland, aren't we?
We are in quite a different part. You can't see the Clyde from here.
No.
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
The camera obscure is good, but not that good.
Just feel
See
homesick.
through landmass.
But yes, the museum is largely there's the door to it. We do have a lift that goes up to the first floor as well. But yes, so main hall, ancient history, natural history, archaeology through there. Upstairs in the galleries, sort of social history from the region.
Okay, awesome. We'll go there
feel
after
free
here
to
then.
browse and explore.
Camera obscure close. That's the top floor, yeah.
That's the very top floor. It might be possible to reopen it again, but I think we're a little short-staffed over lunch. We closed it before because it was raining.
We're not going to insist.
Yeah,
Like,
No, it's okay. It is what it is. You know,
we'll try and get it open for you if you can. But yes, if
we're going to have a wee nosy about your premises.
nosy away, have a yes.
What is for?
Fill your boots.
Thank
Any
you so much.
questions? Feel free to ask.
Cheers, though.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate it. What is this?
1982, I wouldn't have guessed.
Newspaper
So
print.
Oh,
But wait a minute, it's fixed though. It would have been done with movable type. Look, you've even got a photograph.
At 19... Is that 79? No, that wouldn't be. Oh no, maybe it is. 79, it was, yeah. That's pretty good.
Plate
Reading it
for a
backwards,
rotary
isn't it?
press. You would have to make up a new one for every day. That seems like a lot of work.
Tiny one.
Oh, you get to dress up.
Oh, that is a squashed
First
bird.
quote. Oh yeah, it is. Oh my goodness. Maybe to be added to a hat or something, yeah. Skulls and things too.
We type out just for the numbers.
So a tally machine.
Yeah, it's for writing receipts or something. Or
For
just
adding, maybe
as
doing
directed.
sums, yeah. Oh, they like their taxidermy birds. This is cool. Nigel and King James. Part of Midlothian, Jeannie and the Queen, the Talisman, Sir Kenneth and the Dwarf, Guy Mannering. This is Sir Walter Scott, isn't it? Meg Merles and Hattrick. Hattrick was a jester, I think, was he? Fair Maid of Perth. I could be wrong, like, don't take my word on it. Funeratus Hic, also Latin. Rob Graham. So it looks like a wee plaque for Robert Graham. This quartz. Earliest museums were cabinets of curiosity. Collectors would display unusual items in their homes. This included stones and minerals, modern scientific marvels, and items seen as exotic or ancient. This case has been put together to represent that approach. Yeah, the big, wealthy families would obtain mummies and do unwrapping parties where they would literally unwrap the mummies to see if they had any wee trinkets wrapped with them. Dumfries Museum is like a cabinet of curiosity. In its long history, different collectors have added different objects to the museum. We have natural history, archaeology and mineralogy on the ground floor, while the remainder of the museum is primarily focused on the social history of Dumfries and Galloway. People from Dumfries and Galloway travelled the world and they brought back objects from their travels. At present, the majority of objects that reflect this global history are not on display. This case presents us with an opportunity to share some incredible objects from other cultures as we consider how to develop new ways to more accurately represent colonial history and collecting. Our museum is eclectic and there is no set order or recommended route through which to experience its displays. We plan to change this display regularly to reflect the breadth of our collection as well as the long, varied and complex history of our region. That is a good plan. This looks like it's fossils. I'm not sure of what. This looks like fern fossils here. Marbles from Carthage, 1862. This looks like it's part of a wall from Thebes. It really is very eclectic. This looks almost like Chinese silk tapestry work. Could also be Indian, but it certainly looks Eastern. Big skull. Gorgeous big grandfather clock. Taylor of Dumfries. That's really beautiful. Map of Dumfries Museum. We did obtain one of these when we were down at the oldest house. I have not had a good look at it yet. Late on the afternoon of 8th of January 1957, a ploughman deep ploughing a field cracked the edge of a large stone and looking into the hole saw bones. So here we have this here, the bones that were found. The ploughman took some of the bones to the police station. They contacted Mr. Truckle, the curator of Dumfries Museum, who arranged for the grave and its contents to be brought here. Some of the slabs were brought by tractor. For thousands of years, this burial lay overlooking the sea on the Solway, just half a mile from the beach. The man was buried with care in a stone-lined pit known as a cist or kist. It was an old Scottish word for a chest, a container. This kist was made up of grey whack boulders and was topped by a pink granite capstone. He was buried with a pot or beaker at his feet. A cloak fastening ring made from a human backbone was found close by his chest. The beaker perished when moved, but you can see the cloak ring lying next to him here. So, do we think that's a bone from a relative that's died, or maybe an enemy after a battle, perhaps? I'm wondering where he would have obtained part of a human back, so it would have been a vertebrae, I guess. In the Bronze Age, burial practices changed, suggesting a change of beliefs. A lot of bodies were buried with beakers, which led to the people who lived at this time being called the Beaker people. And here you've got the vertebrae cloak ring, along with this gentleman's remains. This is to show the geology. Pottery, old pottery. Pygmy cups. Cinerary urns. So people would have been buried in these. They would maybe have been defleshed and their bones put in them. Or after cremation, their remains would be put in them. Showing my old map of Scotland and the Roman history in Scotland, because we are in Dumfries, which is below the Antonine Wall. Hadrian's Wall is further to the south. There we have our first little Lego man. He is a wee Roman centurion. We found a Lego man. We've got a second. Okay. How many were we to find here? 10? 12. Okay.
I'll have to take
the proof so we can get our stickers. But she said that Burns was really hard to find, so we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled.
Thank you.
Please. This all looks quite Roman. We've got the Latin and quite Romanesque kind of carvings. Oh, more stuffed birds. really were fans of their taxidermy. And that is Carlaverick Castle, which I know because we've been there. Carlaverick Castle and Thrieve Castle. I don't think we've been to Thrieve. We've certainly been to Carlaverick because I remember it was surrounded by the moat. And when I came up and went up this hill, there were lots of mushrooms, but I don't know if any of them were edible. I am not a good mushroom picker, I don't think. I would need an expert with me to make sure I didn't poison myself and others. Look at these old axe heads. Medieval weapons, caltrops, so these would have been placed to get the horses and footmen. Tile from Morton Castle, we've done Morton Castle as well. That was right on the loch where there were lots and lots of geese that I had to walk through to get to the castle. So this will be Thrieve Castle, and I don't believe we've been to Thrieve. Look at this wee kind of, what do you call these things? Diorama of how the people would have lived in their thatched wee round houses, and the fireplace would have been in the centre of the house with a chimney straight above it. Crannog dwelling. So we went to the Crannog Centre, but the Crannog itself had burned down. We actually need to go back and visit it because it's now on the other side of the loch from where it was when we visited. Look at this old sand. Found at Loch Maben. We've done Loch Maben. And chainmail. Goodness. This looks like a sole of a shoe for a very little foot. Nice lights if I come at it from the bottom. So it's got these spearheads and axes, knives and short swords, daggers, rapiers, flints, barbed arrowheads. Don't want to get stuck with one of those. Amber bracelet or decorative beads. And we've got some armour, replica uniform from the Romans, because the Romans did get everywhere. These part of boats, like they're part of boats, because they would hew out one big tree trunk to make their boats. And we saw them until we went to see the Crannog Centre. Log boats. A good specimen of canoes used by the early inhabitants of Britain. I believe there were a couple found at Glasgow Green. I think that's in Andrew's Old Glasgow, which is available to read at randomscottishhistory.com or rsh.scot. Big anchor. Iron anchor. More stuffed birds. And an otter. Oh no. The taxidermy is lovely, but it makes me sad. This bird is gorgeous. It's got blue on it. So I guess it says behind it's a kingfisher. And there's, you've got your heron. That's gorgeous. Look at this. Someone spent time making that. Very Celtic patterns. Plaid brooches, plaid clasps. I've got a heart. Hearts of that shape were fairly late on. I'm not sure if Robert the Bruce's heart was maybe put into something of that shape. I feel like it was a bit early, but maybe. Flanged axe heads. There's so much work gone into these things. It says at Dumfries in the 30th year of the reign of Queen Victoria and on the 11th day of the month of May of the Christian era 1866 and on the Masonic epoch 5866, the foundation stone of Greyfriars Church was by special appointment of the Grand Lodge of Scotland laid with Masonic honours by Right Worshipful Brother Henry Inglis of Torsons? Torsus? I'm not sure. Provincial Grand Master of Peebles and Selkirkshires, assisted by the Grand Officers and deputations from various daughter lodges, in presence of the Provost Magistrates, Town Council, clergy, and a large assemblage of the inhabitants of the town and neighbourhood. The above was engraved on the lid of a copper case made from the vane of the former church built in the year 1724 by Robert Gillies Dumfries, architect John Starforth, Edinburgh, builder James Halliday, joiner John Mern, plasterers Solly and Mackenzie, plumber P. Drummond, painter Thomas Costin Maxwellton. Maxwellton is literally the area we were just in at that old house. Clerk of Works, R.K. Kinnear, Slater, John Bridges. Okay, so I put a lot of work into writing this. It's all different fonts and it looks like it's original calligraphy. And all of these wee swirls and decorations around the letters too. A lot of work went into that. Big old bell. Yes, that's St. George killing his dragon here. It's a very little dragon. Seems about right for St. George if you've ever looked up his history. Now here we have an account of the burning of the Articles of the Union at Dumfries. We have herein no design against Her Majesty, nor against England or any Englishman, neither against our present Parliament in their acts or actings to the... I'm just not reading this at all. The sovereignty of this, our native and ancient nation. I would want to be able to see this better. I wonder if maybe it'll come up better on camera so I can look for the original article. If I can find the original article to read better, then I shall do that as an insert to the video post-edit. More taxidermied animals. We've got an owl, squirrel, a wee fox, a wee shrew, with a tiny little bird in its mouth, hares, birds, lots of birds, rabbits, a big hedgehog. I'm not sure what this is under here, maybe some kind of badger burying. Yeah. Okay. A huge raven. That is a huge raven. My goodness. I would still be friends with it. All these oil lanterns and a clinometer or level for laying out mines. kestrel, oh my goodness. Golden eagle. Oh, all these taxidermied birds. I don't know. I feel like it's a little grotesque in my opinion. So these are fluorescent minerals. Oh, look at this. Look at that purple. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at this. Oh, that's good. I'm into those. I like those a lot. Not just because they're purple. That is gorgeous. I wonder how to obtain something like that. Probably cost a wee bit, wouldn't it? So these are just different examples of geology. I like this galena from the Lead Hills area. This kind of square, slaty kind of, but very polished. Very polished. Stigmaria, root of giant club moss. Wow. So many colours as part of these stones. Hemimorphite, again from one like Head the Lead Hills. This blue bubbly kind of stone. And amethyst, we like amethysts. Because they are purple. Got little examples of powders and sands and things. Dogtooth spar. My goodness. Dolomite crystals. Yeah, I'm liking this. I don't know if you can see these pictures, it might be a bit dark. This way to meet Alex and make sure he did find the 3 of the Lego people. More artwork. Let's come out a wee bit so you can see the artworks. Lots of winged heads on gravestones and things, so I'm not surprised to see this one. These heads with bulbous noses, more cherubs with wings. Okay, so we have lots of receptacles across the top of this. Let's have a look and see the cases at Merchant's House. Oh my goodness, there's a lot to see in here, so we'll not describe everything, we'll just let you have a look at them. 1606 on this plaque up here. The mute Christian under the smarting rod with sovereign antidotes against the most miserable exigence. The 12th edition, that's what this wee book is titled, apparently. I don't know if I can let you see this. Here you go. Snuff nose. Lots of horn snuff nose. 1762 on this plate. A chair that I would not want to sit on because you would break instantly, but it was probably quite strong once upon a time. It could have been a child's chair or a nursing chair. Here we've got a little lady. So that's our fourth Lego piece. 3 downstairs, 1 up here so far. A sun with a face. protection. It looks like a phoenix coming out the fire. Can't really see for the reflected lights. Act of the Convention of Royal Boroughs concerning the plague, and it gives details for preventing pestilential infection. That looks very 18th century, and the way it's been typed, it's very like 18th century newspapers that I've read. What's this book? I don't know. Cold in the Head, so it's a doctor's book. It's it's maybe a household book of common cures for varying ailments. Each jar, medical instruments. So there it says what the book is. Primitive Physic, or an Easy and Natural Method of Curing Most Diseases, from 1780. That would have been very useful in the household. There's another lady up there. So this is all pharmaceutical variousness. There we have our quack doctor, our electromagnetic machine. I wonder if that magnet is charged, because mine certainly isn't. New and improved magnetoelectric machine for nervous diseases. So you guys will have seen mine, and if you caught the videos, we've done 2 out of 3. The third will be done when I'm able to charge up the magnet and get it to give out a charge. The reflection of these things is fairly annoying, but I'm hoping you can see what's in here. Let me try and get us a wee bit brighter. See, if I zoom out too much to let you see everything, it darkens the view a wee bit. Hopefully not much. (1762) in County Borough of Dumfries and Boroughs. It looks like some kind of measuring machine. A standard yard it is, apparently. Measuring sticks. So little. All these tiny little machines. Decimal troy weights, hydrometer set, avoirdupois weights, the liquid measure. This is all weights and measures. Crime and punishment. So this would have gone around your waist with your hands in the shackles. Execution of Mrs. Somebody Timney at Dumfries. Mary Timney, aged only 27, she was the last woman to be publicly executed in Scotland in 1862. And the last man to be publicly executed in Scotland was also in Dumfries. And we found that out during our true crime series of the Square Mile murders, and it was Dr. Edward William Pritchard, who was the last to be publicly hanged in Glasgow, but I do go into the last man publicly hanged in Scotland, and he was here, and he was something of a deviant, so we'll not mourn him too much. Special truncheons and things. What is this? A constable's rattle used to attract attention or summon help. There's their helmets. Leges Martiarum, or border laws, containing several original articles and treaties, and that's from 1705, from the look of it. This is nice, but you can see that it's not quite finished, that there's drawings as though more was going to be added onto this tapestry. So the embroidery was not finished there. Got wee heart tokens. These might be church tokens. People are collectors of church tokens. I don't have any church tokens. It's not something that I ever collected. What's it say up here? Communion token from the Free Church Dumfries, found in 1843. So if you had one of these tokens, I think it meant that you could attend special dinners and special gatherings and things at churches for certain holidays, certain masses, Candlemas, Christmas. There's a bunch of masses during the year. And you could have your tokens taken off you if you were to fall foul of any of the church edicts, and you could lose your right to join your fellow congregants for these dinners and celebrations. This Bible, it looks like. This is really old. Maybe 17th century. Does it tell us? It doesn't tell us anywhere. At least I'm not seeing anywhere where it says. But it certainly looks 17th century. Clock mechanisms. A man trap. A man trap? 200 years ago, these were commonly set to catch and cripple poachers and other intruders on privately owned land. So bear traps, basically, but meant for catching humans. Oh my goodness. Learn ye, years pass by like running water. The sun, the moon, the tides, time, the signs of the zodiac, and how they connect with the body. Places, phrases in Latin and English, strange faces, and the whole compass. This slate dial has two sides, one for the summer and one for the winter, and was made by John Bonner. 30 days hath September, April, June, and November. February hath 8 and 20 alone, and all the rest hath 30 and 1. The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. Let's see if we can get a bit more light here. Slate dial, I assume it would have been used much in the same way as a sundial. It would have been outside. Signs of the zodiac and bodily correspondence. Aquarius, legs. Pisces, feet. Supplies. Aries, head. Taurus, neck. Gemini, arms. Cancer, breast. Leo, heart. Virgo, womb, desires. Libra, loins. Scorpio, secret. Sagittarius, thighs. And Capricorn, knees. So I'm Sagittarius, which seems to be the thighs. Crime and punishments. So the stocks and pillory, we actually discussed how they came to end in our pride in Scottish history, and it was actually after two men were found in like in a compromising situation, or it was decided that these men were having relations that were frowned upon, so they were pilloried. But the people, the spectators that turned up to see them pilloried, threw stuff at them to the point where one was knocked out and he ended up hanging by his neck within the pillories. And when he was taken down, he was found to have died, and that really spelled the end of being pilloried, being stuck up in the stocks, because it wasn't supposed to be a death sentence. It was supposed to be shame, to shame you out of the sin that you had committed by making it public. Public shame was used a lot in lieu of corporal punishment. You were outed, you know. Here you've got all this silverware, huge stock of silverware, ladles and spoons and silver communion cups. I'm wondering what these are. Fragments of silver found at Glebe Field. So it looks like they've been straightened, so they could have formed the rim of cups, maybe. This ladle has something written on it. Probably maker's marks, etc. I think. That silver spoon's excellent with the coloured lights that it's showing. It's really pretty. God keep the king and the craft. 7 incorporations of Dumfries. And it's the same on all of these items. And 30 seconds. Walls of Great Britain. Success to the wooden walls of Great Britain. Success to the 7 incorporations of Dumfries and the legal. Oh wow, look at these machines. So intricate. This is what I'm looking for, carding machines. They're so expensive. Tiny sewing machines. Embroidery. Sewing, so learning how to sew. Now these are this seem like they are carding machines. There are 2 model carding machines on display here and 1 model hand loom. So this would have been your hand loom here. Carding is a process that disentangles and breaks up clumps of fibres. This is what I need to be able to create elfie wool on the spinning machine that I renovated to get working. So I'm really only missing a carding machine, and then we can get started spinning our wool. Prior to, we'll not be using a loom for it. We'll be crocheting it. A beautiful example of a spinning wheel here. It's very delicate compared to mine. Everything's got so intricate so quickly. Making shoes. So these would have been used to stretch the leather shoes. Here we've got examples of different kinds of woven textures. a book full of them, which would be amazing to go through, but the pages would probably fall apart on you if you were to try and read it. And these are shuttles, loom shuttles. There it says here. Shuttles here. Clippers and pickers. And here's the manufacture of tweed. And you've got some quite intricate wee patterns for socks. Here in the laundry, it's a super eclectic mix of things. There's so much they've got. Old irons. Some you would heat in the fire, some you would put coal or paraffin, etc. in. And you've got your electric ones. Gas iron, oh my goodness. I'm just so dangerous. It's like an old passport. Or gildig. I wonder what that stands for. Naval hat band from the HMS Warspite. Warspite. It's a good name for a battle vessel. Alt for Norge? Exclamation mark. Nordman's for Bundit. Look to Norway. Alt for Norge. All for Norway. The Norwegian connection. Rundi Albert, leader of the Norwegian Women's Army in Dumfries. And that is interesting. I wonder if we can get more light on her.